you're about to hear is the fusion of entertainment and enlightenment. This is the Glenn Beck Program.
Hello and welcome. Today is my 50th birthday, and so I've had a morning kind of reflection, and I met my wife in 1997. That was yesterday. Just yesterday. I remember when I was 30 years old, and I was laying in bed, and I was a raging alcoholic, and I thought to myself, as I watched the old digital clock flip to 12, and it was my 30th birthday, and I thought to myself, my life is about to change. And the doctor had already, told me, you keep this up, I don't know what you're doing to yourself, but you keep this up, you'll be dead very soon. And I knew I had to stop drinking, and I knew, and I was friendless, and I was, Pat had abandoned me. Pat had been like, I'm out of here, dude. I know you're having some crisis in your life. Whatever. Hope you die.
It's exactly how it happened.
And,
exactly.
That's what I heard.
That's a good description.
That's what I heard. That's what America heard.
Really
but anyway,
apt description.
Yeah. So, and so I sobered up later that year. In November of that year, I stopped drinking. And I remember that it was tough. And I remember in a couple of years around this time thinking to myself, all I want is my reputation back. That's all I want. 10 years ago, on my 40th birthday, my wife threw a party for me and invited all my old friends, people I hadn't seen in years. And I remember on my 40th birthday thinking, you've wasted most of your life. I had just started this company, and I think I had about maybe three employees. And I thought, geez, man, you're halfway to 80. And you've wasted your life. There's no time to accomplish anything. And I dedicated myself in that decade to making sure I hadn't wasted my life and make up for lost time. And today, I sit here at 50 and see what this company is, and see the impact that the people who work with me have made with me in the last 10 years. And I'm amazed. I'm amazed that when you set your mind to it, you can do anything. After my 30th birthday, I knew that I had destroyed everything. I knew I had destroyed my credibility. I knew I had destroyed absolutely everything. And all I wanted was my credibility back. All I wanted was my name back. All I wanted was to be a decent human being. And I don't think anybody would say you can change. Pat knows the way people who used to work with me back in the 80s used to feel about me, and how people didn't trust me for a very long time, and how all of those people now have, I think, Pat, without exception, have come to my side and said, my gosh, you're a totally different man. Friday, in this last decade, I have won Marconi, which is kind of the radio Oscar, if you will. And it is one award that sits on my desk that I cherish. I really do. To be able to have won a Marconi It's just an amazing thing. But I went to speak at a radio convention on Friday. And nobody on my staff told me because they're all weasels. But I spoke, and they didn't tell me that I was receiving the Andrew Ashwood Award. And the Andrew Ashwood Award, Andrew was a friend of mine, and he was an amazing man and a good, decent guy. And everybody loved him. And, well, he died way prematurely. And so every year they give away the Andrew Ashwood Award. And I finished my speech, and the guy who runs the convention said, "Hold on just a second, we have something for you." And they start talking about the Andrew Ashwood Award. And I don't even remember what the guy said. You have the audio of this?
Yeah.
Not of my speech.
I don't have the whole speech. I have him presenting you the award, and then your very brief acceptance of the award. Do you remember what you said?
I do remember what I said, and it was the only thing I could think of, and it was because it was exactly what I felt. And well, you go ahead and play it.
All right.
Andrew Ashwood was a radio guy. He was such a mensch. He was the kind of positive, helpful, decent guy that the people who knew him are still in mourning. And they created this award to exemplify, well, basically being a decent person in this business. It's not about the accomplishments. It's not about any particular thing. It's just, you're the kind of guy. I wish we had more of you in the business. Gabe is a previous winner. Bruce Gilbert is here as a previous winner. Rick Scott's a previous winner. I was honored last year. And now next year, you will present it to somebody who you think exemplifies the tradition of Andrew Ashwood.
As a guy who, excuse my language, was in a hole for most of my life. It's very kind. Thank you.
I will tell you that that's all I could think of, is because that's who I used to be. And it took me by surprise, and I know it doesn't mean anything to you as a listener, but I'm telling you this story for a reason. The Marconi is a big deal in my business, and a business that I wanted to be in since I was 13 years old, since I was 8. And that's a big deal. This is a bigger deal to me because, especially on my 50th birthday weekend, it marks that you can change. That no matter what you've done in your life, no matter who you are or who you think you are, when I was 30, I knew who I was, and it was a bad guy. But that was a lie. I was a good guy that had gone wrong. And it was really hard. And I spent a long time just praying. I don't want to be this guy anymore. Just help me not be that guy. Help me be a good, positive force.